Greetings, my fellow free blood sovereign thinkers. This is LL3's newest podcast. My name is Craig, transmitting live from the beautiful land of enchantment, which is also known as New Mexico, and today's date is Thursday, October 27th, 2016. And right now, as I speak, I've been actually watching the video footage of what's going on at Standing Rock with the pipeline protest. And they've been right now I noticed that some of the protesters got shot by beanbags, and there's one report that one officer was in tears. That's on the other side. And right now what I'm observing, which is on YouTube under Revolution News and Information, if you get this, it goes Standing Rock call to action, emergency beanbag shot fire. That's the name of the video. And what has been occurring is they were stuck on the sacred lands, like walking on the burial sites. And the whole thing is, plus they've been using LRADs on the protesters as well. There's a strong amount of people out there to protect the lands. And one thing they're concerned about, of course, is the water, because the pipeline is supposed to be going through all of the Missouri River multiple times. If that gets leaked, Lord willing, it could poison the water, affecting the Native Americans first and everyone else across the board. So, and I got this, email, or not email, but on via Facebook. It says here about breaking no-fly zone declared as militarized police prep for assault on frontline camp at Standing Rock, which is done by Jay Seminopolis. As it reads here, there's a cannonball, of course. Pipeline opponents attempting to protect the water supply from the Dakota Access Oil Pipeline, or DAPL, as well as prevent the continued destruction of burial grounds and cultural sites, are anticipating a confrontation with police today. The news comes after water protectors refuse law enforcement requests to vacate reoccupied land in the pipeline's path, owned by the Dallas-based Energy Transfer Partner. And there's a Facebook quote from Frontline News stating here, Andrew Ironshell says, today, Thursday, October 27th, near Fort Rice, just north of the Frontline camp, which has become the staging area for the militarized police force, as they threaten to remove us from unseceded treaty lands because we put our tents, teepees, and bodies on the line between Dakota Access Energy Transfer Partners and the Missouri River. Pray for us if this gets more hostile. Hopefully that won't be the case. Last week, Native activists took bold action of declaring eminent domain over the traditional territory and set up a new camp, frontline camp, directly in the pipeline's path. Pipeline opponents say they have simply reclaimed the land under the Fort LaMaine Treaty of 1851, clearly noting the Sioux never ceded that territory. The new encampment lies across Highway 1806, where pipeline security guards armed with dogs and pepper spray attacked protesters attempting to stop the bulldozing of cultural sites and burial grounds on September 3rd. The impending crisis comes after nearly 200 water protectors set up the new camp on land that Energy Transfer Partners last month purchased from a local rancher in an effort to bolster strategic and tactical control of areas surrounding construction of the controversial pipeline. According to AP, however, the Native Americans claim the land is theirs by way of an 1851 treaty, and they won't leave until the pipeline is stopped. We never ceded this land, says protester Joyce Braun. The latest flashpoint in the ongoing conflict is north of the larger and more permanent encamps, which have been constructed on federally owned land, where over 200 Native American tribes gathered to oppose the pipeline's construction. So if it's federally owned land, how many square miles is it? And if it's more than 10 square miles, it's illegal for them to own it. On Wednesday, a heavily militarized law enforcement presence began mobilizing heavy equipment, including Humvees, armored personnel carriers, buses and demanded the protesters leave the occupied area. An anonymous sign, the Federal Aviation Administration, FAA, has restricted flights and banned the use of drones with a radius of about 4.5 miles of Cannonball. The FAA declared that only aircraft affiliated with the North Dakota Tactical Operations Center allow him within the restricted airspace. The flight restrictions went into effect Wednesday and will last until November 5th. Indian Country Today reports what began with prayers and a single teepee alongside Highway 1806 quickly grew to more than a dozen teepees surrounded by tents, buses, cars, and hundreds of water protectors. Some are calling the 1851 treaty camp to acknowledge that their treaty rights. Accord across the road is an encroaching pipeline and a heavily militarized police force with armored vehicles, helicopters, planes, ATVs, and busloads of officers. Tensions are growing as unarmed citizens worry that police will use unnecessarily harsh tactics. In recent weeks, nearly 300 unarmed water protectors who were arrested have been subjected to pepper sprays, strip searches, delayed bails, exaggerated charges, and physical violence, according to interviews who several were taken into custody. The ACLU and National Lawyers Guild recently sent attorneys to Standing Rock to help the Red Owl Collective, a team of volunteer lawyers headed by attorney Bruce Ellison, who are representing many of those arrested. Massive law enforcement contingent consisting of sheriff's deputies and officers from numerous other states and counties, as well as the National Guard, began staging near the encampment, with scores of armored personnel carriers, buses, and Humvees poised at the ready. At the same point, the rule of law has to be enforced. Cass County Sheriff Paul Laney said Wednesday, "We could go down there at any time. We're trying not to." Dakota Access LLC, the pipeline developer, released a statement encouraging trespassers to vacate the land immediately or be removed from the land. Alternatively, and in coordination with local law enforcement and county state officials, all trespassers will be prosecuted to the fullest extent of the law and removed from the land, the company says. Lawless behavior will not be tolerated. Just days ago, sheriff's officials had said earlier they didn't have the resources to immediately remove activists from the private land about 50 miles south of Bismarck. Subsequently, law enforcement officials put out a call for reinforcements with hundreds of officers from out of state responding. Good grief! So they have to get out of state police officers or peace officers to get involved in the North Dakota's affairs. On Wednesday, actor, environmentalist, activist Mark Ruffalo and civil rights leader Reverend Jesse Jackson went to the new camp to speak and pray with the water protectors. Good grief, Jesse Jackson getting involved right there. That's a plant, as far as I'm concerned. Ruffalo had arrived the night before to speak at an anti-DAPL panel with Native activists and Prairie Night Casino and Hotel, according to Indian Country Today. After touring the camp, Jackson spoke to the crowd, reminding people that nonviolence is the key to winning the battle for justice. With promises, broken land, stolen, and sacred lands desecrated, the Standing Rock Sioux tribe is standing up for their right to clean water. They have lost land for settlers to farm, more land for gold in the Black Hills, and then again, even more land for the dam site that was built for flood control and hydropower, Jackson said. When will the taking stop? When will we start treating the first peoples of these lands with the respect and honor they deserve? The rerouting of the pipeline away from Bismarck to its current route is the ripest case of environmental racism I've seen in a long time, Jackson said. Bismarck residents don't want their water threatened, so why is it okay for North Dakota to react with guns and tanks when Native Americans ask for the same right? Now, I'm not crazy about Jackson on this, but And this one I I could understand, but I'm not going to take it for granted from on his rhetoric. All right, so we'll go on here. The pipeline was originally scheduled to run the Bismarck until local residents expressed displeasure with the plan, with the DAPL ultimately being rerouted to its current trajectory near the Aussie Saskatchewan Standing Rock Reservation. When impending militarized police raided the camp, Mesky Camp Horwick, one of the camp coordinators, told officers the protesters plan to stand their ground, saying, do what you've got to do, according to the Bismarck Tribune. I don't have a crystal ball to know when it will happen, but we know it will happen, says Mesky Camp Horwick, a member of the Ponca tribe in Oklahoma. We're going to hold this ground. Water protectors could be heard chanting, "Stand in peace against the beast." I'm here to die if I have to. I don't want to die, but I will, said Deji Benjari, who lives in Toronto but is originally from the Spirit Lake Reservation, North Dakota. And I'm watching this video too at the same time, so if I sound a little distracted, I'm just keeping tabs on what's happening. And right now, it looks like it's no one running anything like that. But it's like I said, I was like watching some of the stuff earlier. They're trying to push him out. It looks like right now there's a camper there, the pickup truck, and there's other folks trying to they're still there, which is great. So I give these folks a lot of homage. All right, so let me just proceed here. The protesters are simply trying to keep law enforcement from preventing their efforts to stop the pipeline, said David Redbear Jr., 30, from South Dakota side of the Standing Rock Sioux Reservation. If we don't stop them, they're going to cut us off closer to the pipeline. We can't let that happen, Redbear said. We're trying not to force anybody's hand. We're just trying to stand up for what we believe in. The reality is that citizens of North Dakota are funding a protection force in the form of police for a multi-billion-dollar corporate entity. North Dakota Emergency Commission previously approved $6 million in emergency funding for law enforcement costs related to the protest. With almost all those funds having been used already, the Department of Emergency Services plan to ask for more, spokeswoman Cecily Fong said. Do the North Dakotans want their tax money spent on police acting as paid enforcers for Wall Street and big oil interests? While law enforcement claims they are just doing their job in enforcing law, in reality they are acting as enforcers for an unjust corporate oligarchy that consistently puts money over people. The financial elite are the ones who the police are truly protecting and serving, not the American people. Please share this article and stand with Standing Rock. And I do have to agree on that completely. It's like if even some of my past shows have been talking about this, not religiously, but enough times, on saying it could happen to any of us. Doesn't matter who you are. So it's first to be them. Who's going to be next? It could be in the urban areas. It could be in the rural areas. Okay, non-Native American descent. We're all gonna get shafted one way or the other. This is why they're taking a stance on this, and I have to commend them. This is part of the corporate world order, New World Order agenda, what they're trying to do to their Native American brothers and sisters. I do find this absolutely appalling, and I'm just trying to see what else is happening right now. So it looks like people are still chanting. They're still standing their ground. And even they did use the LRAD devices, which the law enforcement used it on the protesters, the LRAD devices, which that was used for Iraq, and even, which is a high pitch frequency noise that will affect the hearing, distract your focus, and that was used during the Iraqi invasion and even some of the protesting in New York and other places around the country, and including Pittsburgh as well. If anyone can make it over there, do it. Go out there as soon as you can.
Every generation, this generation now, this affects you as well. Anyone that thinks they're a gang member or whatever, it's time to restart yourself and come here and show support to us. Everybody that thinks that they have something that's going on, this is what's going on.
Yeah, the gentleman who's involved with Revolution News, telling about, hey, this could happen to any of us. He's trying to bring in people to go over there, stand with them, and wants everything peacefully. And I have a question for the fellow police officers there right now. Are you really going to benefit from this? That's one I think you have to really look at. You shouldn't be bellboys and bellgirls to the system. Be peace officers that protect and serve your communities instead of looking out for mega corporate interests. They don't care about you. These oil big companies and tyrannical entities don't care about you or your families, and that is a fact. And these folks here are just protesting to protect the lands that is sacred to them, and I don't blame them 100%. Yeah, so I'm just so now they're telling them if you don't get off the property, you're going to be arrested. So that is happening as we speak. But of course, you see some of the Humvees out there with their LRAD devices ready to go to use them again. And there's so that's what's been going on. And the feed is compromising, I would say, to be very honest. But I'm going to add this live feed, add this article, and this live feed to my Spreaker page. So, folks, when you do that, watch it and share this throughout your social media network, because this is very, extremely vital. I say very and extremely. This is like they're both synonymous. But one thing for sure, this will affect every single one of us. And that is unacceptable. So, all right, my friends, I thank you for your time. So feel free to download and share this episode throughout your social media networks. If you have any questions, comments, please, or any recommendations, or should check out, whatever you do, please deliver your correspondence with decorum. You can hit me on Facebook, Twitter, Google+, Spreaker, iHeartRadio, Tumblr, YouTube, Freedoms Network, and Scene.life. Or you could email me at LokiLuck3, which is LokiLuck and the number 3 at gmail.com. So I'm going to be still watching this on what's going to be going down, but hopefully the fellow officers on the other side can just say, screw it. Let it be. And I recommend people in North Dakota say no more emergency funds for this case. All right. Oh, okay. Looks like right now I'm going to continue on here. Looks like as I speak, they got looks like the police surrounded the protesters. They're all along the hill.
We have law enforcement.
Exactly, there's law enforcement all along the hill, and they are surrounded as I speak. So the roads are blocked along Highway 1806. But hope and pray for the best for these brothers and sisters out there, okay? They have the courage to stand for what's right. Okay, so definitely make spread this word like fire, my friends. Even the campaigns they should be talking about this never addressed this at the debates, if I recall. But they give the whole rinky-dink, one-dimensional, recycled garbage. They should have addressed this. This is very, important, and and the mainstream media could care less. So they want everyone to move to the south side of the Dodge pickup. And like I said, support our brothers and sisters out there. Give them that love. And if you have a family that's involved with the law enforcement that are there right now, tell them to get their asses back home. You don't need to be there. It's completely unnecessary. We can get oil in other ways. Not like that.
I give all news outlets permission to use my footage, my photos,
Right.
my truth. The photos in the truth
Yes.
in my photos is true. Any media outlet is allowed to use this permission as why my profile is public. So
Right.
the world can see what's going on.
All right, folks. Once again, thank you for your time. Plus, always remember that demonic resistance is healthy for the soul and can liberate humanity. Until next time, take care of yourselves. Keep on spreading love, and may your guardian spirits be with you.